It's Belfast Whispers here, back once again to bring you another ASMR video. And in this video, I am going to be looking at the very popular UK confectionery brand Maltesers. So I have brought up some information on Maltesers on my mobile phone from Wikipedia. So we are going to be looking at that first of all, and after that I will be looking at the box of Maltesers itself, and I am even going to sample some of them, as I'm very much looking forward to getting stuck into this box, as I've had it for a number of weeks at this stage prior to the making of this video. So we will be looking at the Maltesers shortly. First of all, it says Maltesers are a British confectionery product manufactured by Mars Incorporated. They were first sold in the UK in 1937, which is quite surprising. I wouldn't have thought that it would be as early as 1937. I probably would have maybe guessed the 1950s, but that is much earlier than I would have anticipated. And it says they were originally aimed at women, which is quite interesting. They have since been sold in Europe, Australia, New Zealand, Canada, and since 2017, the US. Okay, so that is something I did not know. I didn't think Maltesers were available in the United States. I have a friend from the US who I chat to on Skype, and she wasn't aware of Maltesers being available in the US, so we came to the conclusion that they probably weren't available there. So this is news to me that they are available in the US. The slogan is "the lighter way to enjoy chocolate," and that is very well known in the UK. You see that slogan associated with Maltesers all over the place on TV and in shops, etc. So it is very well known. And here we have a picture of Maltesers in their packet form, which is the most common form you find Maltesers in. And this is what the Maltesers actually look like within the packet or the box. They have a bubbly interior surrounded by milk chocolate on the outer. And we can see here that Mars owned the rights to Maltesers, and they were created in the UK in 1937, approximately 84 years ago. And here we have some information on Maltesers and what they look like, and it says Maltesers consist of a spheroid malted milk center surrounded by milk chocolate. Maltesers are sold in a variety of packaging, including plastic bags ranging in size from small fun size upwards, larger cardboard boxes, which is what we have here today, as well as tubes and plastic buckets ranging in size from medium to very large. And I have seen the buckets that Maltesers come in, and they are very big, and you quite often see these buckets given to people at Christmas as a Christmas gift. So they also have medium-sized teasers in celebrations boxes. Maltesers are also one of the types of chocolate included in Mars's Revels assortment. And if you are not familiar with what Crinkles are. It's another brand by Mars, and basically it's a mixture of all different products in one bag. So you might have Maltesers along with a whole host of other chocolates associated with Mars. A YouGov poll conducted between July and October 2020 saw Maltesers ranked the most popular confectionery in the UK, and that doesn't really surprise me. I think if I was asked what chocolate brand I thought would be the most popular as voted by the people of the UK, I probably would have guessed Maltesers. It is such a popular brand here in the UK. And if I just scroll down, I can have a look at some of the history of Maltesers. And it says Maltesers were created by the American Forrest Mars Sr. in England in 1936. So although they were created in England, they were created by an American, and they were first sold in 1937. They were originally described as energy balls and aimed at slimming women. The current Malteser slogan is "the lighter way to enjoy chocolate." Earlier slogans have included "the chocolates with the less fattening center," "no ordinary chocolate," and "nothing pleases like Maltesers." In the 1930s, advertisements claimed that the Maltesers malted milk center is 1/7 as fattening as ordinary chocolate centers. This led marketeers to claim it was beneficial for weight loss. That's quite interesting, really, that these were, first of all, aimed at women and people looking to lose weight. In Australia, Mars signed a production deal with Mac Robertsons in 1954, but then switched to Cadbury in 1963. In January 2017, Maltesers officially became available in the United States for the first time. The factory in Newmarket, Ontario, Canada, produces the Maltesers for the North American market. It is expected the factory exports about 80% of its production to the United States. So, if you are from the United States and you have not seen Maltesers before, I highly recommend that you go and you search for a bag or a box and try these out, because they are absolutely fantastic, and if you are a chocolate lover, you are sure to enjoy Maltesers. And then we have some information on ingredients, varieties, similar products as well. So let's have a quick look at some of the varieties Maltesers produce. And we have white Maltesers, which are made with a white chocolate coating. I think I've seen them before, but mainly I tend to just see the original Maltesers, which is what we have here today. But I imagine the white chocolate variety would be very tasty indeed. We have dark Maltesers, which are made with a dark chocolate coating, and I'm not really a big fan of dark chocolate, so they wouldn't really appeal to me. We have mint Maltesers, which are made with a mint center and milk chocolate coating, which I have to admit I have never seen before. I absolutely love mint chocolate, and you may have seen a previous video on my channel featuring Aero mint bubbles, and that is because I absolutely love mint chocolate. So if Maltesers do I'm certainly going to find them and sample a packet to see how they taste. Malt Easter bunnies, a bunny made out of Malteser, available over the Easter period each year and have been since Easter 2010. Mini versions were also available in 2015. Orange flavoured bunnies and white chocolate mini bunnies were introduced in 2021, which is this year, and I don't recall seeing them, but that sounds very appealing indeed, and I'm sure many people enjoyed having those over the Easter period. And then we have Maltesers Teaser, which is chocolate-coated miniature balls in a bar format, available since March the 26th, 2013. And there are quite a number of varieties of Maltesers here, which I wasn't even aware of. But this one here I do recall seeing, which is the Merry Teaser Reindeer. And it is a standard and miniature reindeer-shaped chocolate-covered honeycomb, available in the run-up to Christmas, and I do recall seeing this particular variety, and it looked very appealing. I didn't actually get to eat any of it, but I have seen them in the shops at Christmas time. Maltesers also have a hot chocolate variety, which sounds very appealing. Then we have Maltesers buttons. Button-shaped Maltesers, which features the signature Mars chocolate with tiny malt balls within, launched in 2018. Okay guys, I think that will do us for the information portion of the video. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to bring a bowl in, which I'm going to set to the side here. I will just move the phone out of the way, and I'm going to put the bowl down in this corner and bring our box into the center of the shot. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a look at our Maltesers box, open up the packaging, and then have a look at the Maltesers inside the box. And just for a bit of fun, what I'm going to do is I'm going to predict how many Maltesers are actually in the box. And you are welcome to join me in predicting how many Maltesers you think are contained within the box. But you don't have to guess just yet. I will show you the inside of the box before we guess how many Maltesers we think are in there. And I'm going to count them out one by one and put them into the bowl beside the box. So let's just take a look at the packet, and it is quite rattly, so I have to be very careful with the box, and I can't really turn it over as it is very rattly inside. So this is the box of Maltesers. It is a cardboard box, and it has a plastic coating on the outside, which we are going to attempt to remove very carefully. Okay, so I have got the edge of the plastic, and I'm now able to peel it back very gently in order to remove the plastic outer cover of the box. And it's quite satisfying to remove this part from the box. So this part should slide off now. just take a look at some of the ingredients contained within the box, we can see that we have sugar, skimmed milk powder, cocoa butter, glucose syrup, barley malt extract, cocoa mass, palm fat, lactose and egg white from whey powder, butter fat, and emulsifiers, wheat flour, palm kernel fat, palm kernel oil, raising agents, wheat gluten, salt, glazing agent, natural vanilla extract. And that is all of the ingredients, and there is some of the nutritional information below that as well, which is pretty much what you would expect from a chocolate brand of confectionery. Quite high values of fat and sugar, etc. But there's nothing wrong with having it as a treat now and again. So we can take a look at our box now, and it is a very standard cardboard box cover for the Maltesers. This is the cardboard box variety. I was going to get a bag of Maltesers, but I saw these instead and thought that it would be more fun to see if we can predict how many Maltesers are contained within the box. So if I just open the lid, we can take a look inside. And as we can see from the inside of the box, we do have to break open these two corners as well, so I will do that very carefully, as we have an edge around the sides here, and this part will basically open up so we can gain access. Okay guys, so now we can open up the lid and we can take a look inside all of those delicious Maltesers within the box. And oh boy, do they look appealing. All these little chocolate balls of heaven within our box. So guys, what we need to do now is attempt to predict how many Maltesers we think is within the box. So go ahead and predict how many you think there are, and do let me know down in the comment section how close your prediction was once we find out how many is in the box. And just having a look at the box here myself, I think I am going to predict I'm going to say there are 50 Maltesers within the box. I have no idea how many there are, so it's going to be a complete mystery to me. So what I will do now is I will begin to count the Maltesers from the box and place them into the bowl beside, and let's begin. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, guess of 50 is going to be way off. I think anyway. I'm not quite sure at this stage, but I think it's going to be less than 50. So we will continue with 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. So we have 20 Maltesers so far, and there you can see how many we have left in the box. So let's continue counting to see how many we are going to end up with. And that's 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, and that makes 30 so far. And as we can see from the box, we are starting to run out of Maltesers. But let's continue, and that is 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40. So there we have 40, and my guess of 50 may not be too far off. We do have some in the corner here, and we have a little broken one here, which I will take out and show you. It's kind of a small one. It's a baby Malteser. So I think what we'll do is we'll call that a half Malteser. So we'll put that in the bowl and we'll call that a half. And we will move on to 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, and that is it. Our box is empty. So we have 47 full Maltesers and a little baby half Malteser. So we will say 47 and a half Maltesers within the box. So my guess of 50 Maltesers was not too far out. I'm quite pleased with that guess. When I started counting them, I thought I was going to be way out, but that didn't turn out to be too bad at all. So guys, let me know in the comments how you got on with your predictions. Did you get close to the actual number of 47.5? I would be absolutely astonished if anybody guessed 47.5 Maltesers within the box. But there you go. as just a bit of fun to add to the video. So we have 47.5 Maltesers. And what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to sample a few of the Maltesers and describe how they taste, but having had them many times, I know exactly how they taste, and they are indeed very light and fluffy chocolate. You have the light bubble center surrounded by the milk chocolate outer shell. So let's just have a couple of these and see how they taste. And I'm sure you could hear the crunch, and that was the bubbles on the inner side of the Maltesers. Really very satisfying when you hear the crunch, but if you prefer, you can let the Malteser melt in your mouth until you get to the bubble section, and then you won't get that crunch. So there are multiple ways to eat Maltesers, but I do prefer to crunch, as I really do like the crunching sound. And I love how shiny they are under the lights. Just makes them look even more appealing. Yeah, really satisfying. It's been quite a while since I've had Maltesers, but it's a very familiar taste, one that I loved ever since childhood, really. So yeah, really very satisfying indeed. And as I say, if you've never had Maltesers before, I highly recommend that you go out and you find yourself at least one of the small bags, which I would imagine you probably get around 10 to 15 Maltesers in. You should definitely sample them and give them a try, as I don't think you will be disappointed. So I think I will have just one more before we finish the video. The thing with Maltesers is, as with a lot of confectionery like this, it's very easy to eat it all in one sitting. The temptation is so strong, but you have to really hold back, I think, and just treat yourself to 3 or 4 at any one time. A bit of self-control is what's needed when it comes to certain chocolate and confectionery. But yeah, I think I had 3 Maltesers there, and they're very, very satisfying indeed, as I say. So I'll probably end up having more of them later on, who knows. But yeah, I think we will leave it there for this video, guys. But I hope you enjoyed this look at Maltesers, and if you did enjoy the video, please give it a thumbs up down below and subscribe